Joining us now is Victoria Cobb. She's been the picture of patience on the phone waiting patiently, and she is the head honcho, the executive director and president, and all that good stuff of the Family Foundation. And it is great to have you, Victoria. Thanks for being with us.
Thanks for having me.
Now, Victoria,
lots to talk about.
I know the last time you were on, we let you do your victory dance, and we called you Mothra because you beat me. You beat Godzilla. Hey, you know what? Do you think I'm fair? Just
I think you're very fair because you did graciously give credit where it was due. That unfortunately some of the things that you love and care about didn't happen, but I really appreciate that.
Well, that's because you're Mothra. You beat the Godzilla, but I think I'm fair. So I had a guy that's running for House of Delegates in District 97, Scott Wyatt. We call him Scott the Rigger. And he was supposed to be on today after you at 7:30, and he had one of his little minions call me up and cancel and say that I was not fair. Now, I just, you know what? Yeah, you might not agree with me, but I'm always fair. So I think he was just afraid of the Godzilla of truth. That's what I think. No need to comment, Victoria. Let's get to what matters here. Tell us about the big event you've got coming up, March for Life.
Yeah, we are gearing up. You know, when we planned this long before we had any idea that we were going to have a governor who made such incredible remarks about infanticide. But, you know, when we planned this, we were hoping for 1,000, 2,000 people. That's considered a kind of a good rally at the Capitol. And I'll be honest with you, we are in a whole nother level here with what we're hearing as far as the volume of buses coming in from all across the state. And we could be looking at thousands upon thousands, something that we do not see at the Capitol, which is really exciting. And I think it's just a testament to the fact that people are finally kind of saying enough is enough. And I think this session did that for them.
I want you to give everybody the details on your March for Life event so they have it, they can jot it down, and then I'm going to tweet it out. If you could send me something, I'll put it on my Facebook page, but just go through everything.
Yeah,
when
you want to be down there, I would say, honestly, 10:30 or so. This is on April 3rd. This is Veto Day. Remind everybody, same day that the legislature comes back to address what the governor has done with legislation. So you want to be down there, I would say, by 10:30, honestly, maybe earlier because of the volume of people. The actual program will start around 11, where we'll have some speakers. And unlike lots of rallies, we're not going to throw all these politicians up there. It's really going to be more heroes of the issues, and people will hear about the issues as opposed to everybody getting their 5 minutes of fame and the photo op and all of that. But we think it's going to be a phenomenal event. It'll be a march around Capitol Square, essentially. But it is it is shaping up to be quite an event. There will be some speakers. One, for example, a woman who survived an abortion who goes out and speaks about that. That is the topic that was at hand with the governor's comments. So I think it'll be really informative, and it'll just be a chance for folks to really connect with other pro-life folks and to hear what are next steps. What should folks be doing to address this issue throughout the year?
So no politicians, or only a couple of them. I like that. April 3rd, Veto Day. By the way, we're going to be live April 3rd from Tim Hugo's office at the General Assembly. So we'll also be there April 3rd at the Capitol. Now, will there be any transportation you guys have set up, or do people have to find their own way to Richmond?
There are tons of buses. We're starting to try to get some of that information up on the Virginia March for Life site. But we are not actually funding any buses or having to put any together because it's being so driven by churches and schools and all sorts of folks across the Commonwealth. So we're starting to get that information out where we can. Folks could definitely, the easiest thing, if you're looking for a bus, the first place I would start is wherever your local Catholic church is. They are busing in like crazy. And so that would be an easy ask. Catholic or not, you could just kind of ask that parish if they have a bus going.
Right, so you want to take the bus, you would go through your Catholic church. If you're in the Norfolk area, another option is Amtrak. They've got one train, I think, that leaves about 6:05 or 6:10 a.m. that'll get you there by 8. There's another one at 9 that'll get you there by 10:30 also. You can just take a taxi to the Capitol, and they run back. That's an option. So there's a lot of options to get there without having to deal with parking. The problem in Richmond, if you try to drive there, parking is going to be a horror story. I mean, you just can't find any place to park in Richmond on just a regular day. You put 5,000 to 7,000 people in there, and it's veto day, and we got all the General Assembly members. Parking becomes hard to do. So find a convenient way there. But is April 3rd, put it on your calendar. You want to go to the March for Life Day. Now, Joe Morrissey will be speaking at that. We understand he's been invited. So, and you can listen to the Fighting Joe Morrissey Show right here on WJFN 100.5 FM, Tuesday to Friday, 10 a.m. to noon. Okay, so you've got that coming up. Tell us what else you're working on.
Well, we're right now we're kind of circling the state with a No Pink Lights tour, which is similar on this issue of abortion. And a lot of folks kind of knowing that they heard some comments they didn't like, they saw a bill they didn't like during session, but don't know much more than that. And so, in the vein of, we're not going to want to see what we saw in New York where they lit up the Freedom Tower with pink lights after they signed that horrific abortion bill. So we're kind of crisscrossing the state talking to folks about that, and that has been, really well received. Folks are just, I think that the momentum is there on this, and folks want to know, they want to get engaged. We're seeing folks asking, how do I contact my legislator for the first time? People that just have been asleep at the switch. So we're going to wake them up.
What is going on? We all talked about the Kathy Tran, Debbie Rodman. These are House members from the Democratic side. Their third trimester, anything goes plan to basically you could terminate the life of a child, I guess, after it comes out of the birth canal is really what they were saying. That bill obviously went nowhere, and a lot of people said that this is really the death of the Democrats' opportunity to get a majority. What is your organization doing to promote candidates? And I know there's a divide there, but just be honest in promoting candidates that are going to protect life.
Yeah, certainly. Family Foundation Action, which is our more political arm, is partnering with Susan B. Anthony, another amazing pro-life group. They're a PAC, and we're really looking at particularly those legislators in the House that supported that bill. There were several who supported it, some who voted for it, and many, many, many have awesome challengers, and those districts should be taken back. And so we're working to raise some funds and start working in the districts where we need pro-life voters to know where the candidates stand. And so it's an exciting plan that's starting to shape up, and we just think it's incredibly important that people like Rodman and others are held accountable. And I guess it all depends, where she ends up running, whether she's running for her House seat or sounds like she's making a lot of noise about running for Donovan's Senate seat. So that could be interesting as well.
Very interesting. You're on the John Fredericks Radio Network, live from Washington, D.C., trucking the truth across America. We are with Victoria Cobb of the Family Foundation in Virginia, and her nickname is Mothra because she defeated the Godzilla of Truth Me 2 times in this past General Assembly session on casinos, and what was the other one? ERA. Both of which I went down in flames on 2 of them. I went 0 for 2, so I don't want to go up against you anymore. Does the Family Foundation and Susan B. Anthony, did they ever back pro-life Democrats?
Well, yeah, back in the day, there were a lot of them. We had Colgan and Puckett and people like that who maybe weren't with the Family Foundation, for example, on big government and those kind of issues, but they certainly were pro-life and were very helpful in the Senate. We just don't have that in the Virginia State Senate or the House pretty much at all anymore, which is really devastating. But we do work there is a Democrats for Life organization, and we do work with them where we can.
Okay, so I'll give you a little tip-off here. I've got one for you. Joe Morrissey, who has a 100% pro-life voting record when he was in the House of Delegates in Virginia, is going to run. I don't care what he says publicly. I'm telling you, he's going to run for state senate. He's going to challenge Roz Dance in a primary in District 16, and I think he's going to beat her because he's out there knocking on doors, talking to voters every day. He is a pro-life Democrat, probably the only one out there. You guys should get in touch with him. Now, I might
disagree with the 100% voting record on that. That was not 100% true. But I do believe he's better than most on this issue.
Much, much better. If it's not 100%, it's very, very close to that. Joe is ardently pro-life and a Catholic. So To be bipartisan, you guys should look into backing him in that campaign.
Well, we don't typically engage in a lot of primaries either, so it would just depend. But that is really interesting, and I'm interested to see how that shapes up for sure.
You should definitely look at that, because that's the kind of thing where if you can get a Democrat in the state Senate that is pro-life like Joe is,
that would be extremely helpful.
It'd be extremely helpful, but to sit there and say, well, I'm not going to get involved in a primary. I mean, that doesn't make any sense at all, because the alternative, that is a Democrat seat. So you've only got two choices, pro-life Joe or third-term Roz Dance. You got to pick one. I'd pick Joe if I were you. Victoria Cobb, okay, April 3rd, Veto Day, the March for Life in Richmond at the Capitol, and you're going to be putting out some stuff on your Facebook page about what transportation is available there, right?
Yes, and the Pulse. We also recommend people start from outside of town and take the Pulse in.
The Pulse, okay. Always a good option. Victoria, thanks for being with us. If people want more information on your family foundation, where do they go?
Just familyfoundation.org would be great, or our Facebook is really active. That's an easy way to get all the information.
All right, familyfoundation.org. Victoria, thanks for being with us. John Fredericks Radio Network, trucking the truth. Stay with us.